friends, welcome to video lecture on kinematics of machinery. In the today's lecture, we'll discuss about basic kinematics, session 2. In this session, we'll learn about kinematic pairs, types of constrained motions, types of kinematic pairs. So let's start. What's about the kinematic pair? The two links or elements of a machine, when in contact with each other, are said to form a pair if the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constrained, that is, in a definite direction. The pair is known as kinematic pair. Okay, this part clear to you when we discuss the coming slides. Now see what's about the constrained motion and its types. So following are the three types of constrained motions. So let me clear about these constrained motions first of all. Okay, so what's about the meaning of constraints? Constraints are nothing but the restrictions given for the motion of any object or any part, any element. Okay, now here are the three different types of the constrained motions, okay, with us. First one, completely constrained motion. Now see the explanation of this completely constrained motion is in front of you. When the motion between a pair is limited to a definite direction irrespective of the direction of force applied, then the motion is said to be completely constrained motion. For example, the piston and cylinder in steam engine form a pair and the motion of the piston is limited to a definite direction. That is, it will only reciprocate relative to cylinder irrespective of the direction of motion of the crank. Okay, so if you just say whatever the discussion is related with that piston and cylinder, now just see here the piston and cylinder, okay, with us here. Okay, so what's about this one? This indicate the cylinder, piston, okay, so crosshead part, then connecting rod, crank, okay, wheel, etc. Now say as per explanation is given related with this completely constrained motion, when the motion between the pair is limited to definite direction irrespective of the direction of the force applied. Okay, now if you just see here, so whatever the force is applied on this piston, the movement of the piston is takes place in one direction. If I change the direction of the force, the direction of the motion of this piston is also changes. Now the same example, or we can discuss that completely constrained motion with the help of this example. The motion of square bar in a square hole. Okay, if I apply certain force on this one, the motion of this square bar will take place towards the this one left side, or if I apply the force from this one right side, then the motion of this bar takes place towards the right side. Okay, this will more clear to you with the help of this picture. Okay, now the another example is given here, shaft with the collars in circular hole. Okay, now when the collars are provided at the end of this one, at the end of this here the circular hole or the shaft in front of us. Okay, when the restrictions are given for the motion of this shaft in okay, in horizontal direction like this one, means this moment along the x-axis, okay, towards the right side or left side is locked because of this collar. Okay, so this collar is clearly visible here. Okay, means only the turning moment is available, means here definite direction. Okay, so restriction is given for the rotation or for the reciprocating motion of this circular bar, okay, towards the right direction or towards the left direction, means we can get the completely constrained motion. Okay, now the next one, incompletely constrained motion. When the motion between a pair means here the two different elements, okay, when comes in contact with each other, that will form, okay, pair. Okay, when the motion between a pair can takes place in more than one direction, then the motion is called an incompletely constrained motion. Now if you just look towards this one, this example, shaft in a circular hole. Okay, when the motion of the shaft takes place more than one direction, means the reciprocating motion for this shaft as well as circular motion of the shaft takes place inside of the circular hole. Okay, means the motion takes place more than one direction. Okay, this is the case of incompletely constrained motion. Incompletely means here the restrictions are not given for the motion of that particular shaft. Okay, now this actually a same case in front of you. Now see the examples given here. The change in the direction of imposed force may alter the direction of relative motion between the pair. If I change the direction of the force, if I apply the force here, okay, or torque here in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, according to that, the change in the direction takes place. If I apply certain force towards this direction, okay, automatically the movement of this one shaft takes place towards the right direction. And if I apply the force, okay, from this one left side or from back side, then the movement of this shaft takes place towards the forward direction. Okay, and then already this example we have discussed here, a circular bar or shaft in a circular hole as shown in figure of an incompletely constrained motion, as it may either rotate or slide in a hole. These both motions have no relationship with each other. Okay, next one, successfully constrained motion. When the motion between the elements forming a pair is such that constrained motion is not completed by itself but by some other means, then the motion is said to be successfully constrained motion. Consider the shaft in footstep bearing as shown in figure. Okay, like this one. Now the shaft may rotate in a bearing. This one actually, this indicate the footstep bearing. Okay, so what's about this one, shaft actually rotating inside of that circular hole. Okay. Now if you observe here, the shaft may rotate in a bearing or it may move upwards. The shaft may rotate in the bearing or it may move in upward. This is the case of incompletely constrained motion because the motion takes place more than one direction. Okay, this will move in upward direction, at the same time this will rotate about its own axis. Okay, but if the load is placed on the shaft to prevent the axial upward movement of the shaft, then the motion of the pair is said to be successfully constrained motion. Now if I put some load on this shaft, automatically the motion is restricted. Upward motion or upward movement of this shaft is restricted because of application of external load here. Okay, same actually case in front of you. So the shaft rotate about its own axis, at the same time the shaft reciprocate inside of that circular hole. Means this is the case of incompletely constrained motion, and when I restrict the motion of this shaft by some external means, okay, by some external means here we are applying some external load. Okay, same actually case with the motion of an IC engine valve and the piston reciprocating inside and engine cylinder are the examples of successfully constrained motion. So already we have seen that case. Okay, here this is the case of successfully constrained motion. Now see the classification of kinematic pairs. The kinematic pairs may be classified according to the following considerations. First one, according to the type of relative motion between the elements. Then next one is nothing but the according to the type of contact between the elements, and next one according to the type of closure. Let us start with the first one, according to the type of relative motion between the elements. The kinematic pairs according to type of relative motion between the elements may be classified as discussed below. So first one, sliding pair, a simple one. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such a way that one can only slide relative to other, the pair form is known as sliding pair. See once again, when the two elements of a pair are connected, in a such a way that one can only slide relative to the other. The same case is here, same case is also here. One can slide, or just see the contact between this shaft slides inside of this one circular hole. Okay, this is also a sliding contact. Okay, so another example with this one, the piston and cylinder, crosshead and guides of a reciprocating steam engine, ram and its guides in shaper, tailstock on the lead bed are the examples of the sliding pair. A little consideration will show that a sliding pair has completely constrained motion. Now already I discussed about the completely constrained motion. The motion takes place in definite direction. Okay. Now the turning pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such a way that one can only turn or revolve about a fixed axis of another link, the pair is known as turning pair. Now see this example, a shaft with a collar. Here the shaft with collar at both ends fitted into a circular hole. Okay, this is the example. The crank in journal bearing in an engine, then lathe spindle supported in headstock, cycle wheels turning over their axles, etc. are the examples of turning pair. A turning pair also has completely constrained motion. Now just see here once again the example given related with this turning pair. When the two elements, means first element is here, second element is here. Okay, so the motion of this shaft along its circular axis, okay, this one is restricted. Sorry, this motion is restricted. Okay, this one, reciprocating motion of this shaft is restricted because of the collars are provided at both the ends. Means only the turning motion of this one takes place. That's why here the we are saying this is the case of completely constrained motion. Okay, now next one is nothing but the rolling pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such a way that one rolls over the another fixed link, the pair is known as a rolling pair. Ball and roller bearings are examples of rolling pair. Ball and roller bearing. Okay, simple one. A casing is here. Okay, and inside of this casing, the balls are continuously rolling. Okay, this is the case related with the rolling pair. Now next one, screw pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such a way that one can turn about the other by screw threads, the pair is known as screw pair. The lead screw of lathe with the nut and bolt with the nut are the examples of screw pair. And next one, spherical pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such a way that one element turns or swells about the other fixed element, the pair form is called a spherical pair. The ball and socket, okay, the ball and socket joint, attachment of car mirror, okay, pen stand, these are the examples to do the spherical pair. Once again just see the explanation related with this spherical pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in a such way that one element here with the spherical shape turns or swells about the other fixed element. This is the fixed element, and this is the spherical shape element that will turns or swells inside of the another element. Same case with the car mirror. Okay, here the mechanism is made in a such way that will turns or swells about the other element. Similar case with the pen stand. Okay, now next one, the classification of kinematic pairs according to the type of contact between the elements. The kinematic pairs according to the type of contact between the elements may be classified as discussed below. So first one is nothing but the lower pair, next one higher pair. Now see the meaning for this lower pair. When the two elements of a pair have a surface contact, when the relative motion takes place and the surface of one element slides over the surface of the other, the pair form is known as lower pair. Okay, it will seem that sliding pairs, turning pairs and screw pairs form a lower pairs. Now just see this example. When the two elements, so first element is here, second element is here. Okay, when the two element of a pair have a surface contact, now see the contact between this square bar and square hole. Okay, this is the surface contact. When the relative motion takes place and the surface of one element slides over the surface of other, the pair form is known as lower pair. Just see the every case when the relative motion between both the elements takes place, there is a surface contact between the pairs. So this is the case with the lower pair. So whatever the earlier this one we have discussed the classification of kinematic pair according to this one relative motion between the elements. So sliding pair, turning pair, a rolling pair. Okay, this classification again comes under this lower pairs. Okay, now next one, higher pair. When the two elements of a pair have a line or point contact, when the relative motion takes place and the motion between the two elements is partly turning and partly sliding, then the pair is known as higher pair. A pair of friction discs, the next one tooth gearing, belt and rope drives, the next one ball and roller bearings, and cam and follower are the examples of pair pairs. Now just see here, when the two elements of a pair, okay, this is the example with the tooth gearing. Okay, per gear example right now in front of you. Okay, so as per information given here, the pair have line or point contact when the relative motion takes place and the motion between the two elements is partly turning and partly sliding. The same case with this one, belt as well as a rope drives. Then the same case with the next one, cam and follower. These examples comes under the higher pair. Next one, according to the type of closure, the kinematic pairs according to the type of closure between the elements may be classified as discussed below. First one, self closed pair, and second one, force closed pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected together mechanically in a such a way that only required kind of relative motion occurs, it is then known as self-closed pair. The lower pairs are the self-closed pairs. Whatever the earlier we have seen about this one lower pair, so this comes under the self-closed pair. Now just here, when the two elements of a pair, first element is here, second element is here, are connected together mechanically in a such way that only required kind of relative motion occurs. So here only reciprocating motion occurs. Here only turning motion occurs. Here only turning motion occurs. So this is the case of self-closed pair. What's about the next one? Forced closed pair. When the two elements of a pair are not connected mechanically but are kept in contact by the action of external forces, the pair is said to be force closed pair. This is the example related with the force closed pair. The cam and follower is an example of force closed pair, as it is kept in contact by forces exerted by spring and gravity. Okay, here the cam and follower, this example in front of you. Okay, so whatever the contact between cam and follower is because of the spring control. Okay, thank you. I hope that in today's lecture whatever the point discussed clear to you.